Hey guys, so last week I did a video speculating on what will be on the covers of the 60s Blu-ray collection box sets, what the Doctor's going to be holding, what monsters or villains are going to be on the covers, and today I kind of wanted to continue that. I just think it's kind of fun to speculate things like that. I hope you do too. Um, so today I'm going to go over the remainder of the third and fourth Doctor's eras. So for season 7, I wasn't sure what he would be holding. Maybe that device he uses to defeat the Nestine, or maybe he won't be holding anything. Maybe he'll just do that classic iconic pose, where he has his hands out or his arms out or whatever. Could see that. Or maybe the TARDIS key. Not sure. Villains is pretty easy. Probably an Auton, an astronaut, a Silurian, and one of those werewolf creature things from Inferno. They usually have about 4 or 5 on there, and that's 4, so that's perfect. Season 9. Most likely option, I think, would be the crystal from the Time Monster, or maybe the Time Machine box from Day of the Daleks. Villains could include the Master, a Sea Devil, a Mutant, maybe Peladon or Agador or an Ice Warrior, or an Alpha, or maybe Alpha Centauri. There's so many good choices from the Peladon stories. I'm just not sure which one they would choose. Season 11, because it's Pertwee's last season, I picture, kind of like I said for Troughton, I picture him looking very serious and holding the Metabelus crystal. Villains on the case would be the Daleks, the Sontaran, maybe some more Peladon creatures. Maybe they just skip Peladon, I'm not sure. Spiders, maybe a dinosaur. I thought maybe if they didn't want to do spiders, they could include Lupton instead, but no, I think they would go with the spiders. So that's the third Doctor's era. Moving on to the fourth Doctor's era, we have season 13. And I wondered if, I remembered how for season 14 they have him in his Talons of Wang Chiang outfit. I have a strong suspicion they're going to put him in his Scottish hat and stuff for season 13 with Terror of the Zygons. And I was thinking maybe he'd hold the homing device for the Loch Ness Monster. I can't think of anything else except maybe the ring from the Pyramids of Mars. Villains probably would be Zygon, maybe Stigron, maybe androids, but probably just Stigron will represent android invasion. And then, of course, Morbius, Sutek, Crinoid. Gotta have those on there. For season 15, I couldn't really think of anything too likely that he would be holding. All I could think of is maybe Rassilon's key from the Invasion of Time. And maybe he could be wearing the sash as well. I don't know. But villains, Sontarans, Rutan, Fendal. Maybe the tax collector. Probably not the Swarm because the invisible enemy is, well, it's the invisible enemy. I'm sure it has its fans, but yeah, I wouldn't put the Swarm on there. Remind people that's in the set. Season 16 is quite obvious. I think it's probably going to be the Key to Time, or at least a segment of it. Now, it could also, of course, be the Tracer. That's a possibility. But yeah, that might be a more likely possibility, actually. I'm not sure. But yeah, for villains, I would think they would include definitely the Pirate Captain, the Shadow, maybe the Black Guardian. Maybe not something from every story. I don't know, I'd like to see Count Grendel on there. I don't know if they'd put Kroll or Swampies on there or anything, but yeah, the Pirate Captain, the Shadow, the Black Guardian, and Count Grendel. I think those are likely. Maybe the Tauren Wood Beast. No, I doubt it. Season 17, the most obvious object from the story is going to be the Mona Lisa, but that's a little big for him to be holding in one hand on this cover, unless they have him maybe like holding it up with 2 hands. I don't know. So I was thinking the only other thing I could think of is maybe like the book from Shada. I know Shada's not really, that was a story that was never completed, but I think most people have, now that it's been completed with animation, even more so, accepted it as part of the season. So, and it is a very popular one. So yeah, I could see maybe the book from Shada being on it. I think that'd be cool. As far as monsters, I was thinking, well, Daleks, of course. And I was thinking they may put the Movellans on there, or maybe even Davros. Maybe they'll skip the Daleks and put Davros on there instead. But for creatures, you've got Skaroth, you've got, as far as Creature from the Pit, Nightmare of Eden, Horns of Nymon, I don't think they'll all be represented. The most likely thing is probably going to be the Nymon. I mean, you could also get one of those creatures from Nightmare of Eden. I forget what they're called, but I don't know. I think the Nymon would just be more iconic somehow. I don't know. And also, I was thinking they'd probably put Skagra on there, since, you know, it is the Shada season, and people do like Shada. So what do you guys think? Is there anything you would like to see featured on the cover of the box sets? Do you think I got it wrong? Do you think I got it right? What are your ideas? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next week when I do the last part of this series. Probably the last, at any rate. I'm going to cover the rest of the 80s era, like Peter Davison through McCoy, which isn't much. So yeah, that should be a pretty short video too. See you next week, guys.